Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well, wherever you're at work, or out with friends, or I don't know how that would be hanging out with friends and watching me. I guess that would be a compliment, so that'd be like really cool. But like, hey, guess what we're gonna do tonight? We're gonna go watch some King A.D.S talk videos, right? Like that would be all the fun. Oh yeah, I'm sure. But nah, I just wanted to say what's up. This is a little bit different right now. What I'm doing here this time is making a compilation video. I know I spoke on that before, but here I am, and I'm ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's something I've never tried before. It's a new experience, new territory. I've been trying to step up my game a little bit and move on to a new progression, a new level in what I do. So, and over time, I've stated from time to time that I've mentioned this before, I've mentioned that before. Or, I've watched other content creators and I say, hey, I touched on that, I did that. So, and I'm sure there's people in conversation that do the same thing. We used to do that too. We'd all be talking about things, and then later we'd say, hey, that's the same thing we said. So that's another reason I wanted to put this together. Also, there's a lot of people out there who didn't see me from the beginning. And if you did see me in the beginning, that you know that this did not come naturally to me. This is something that I've now practiced for about 4 years, and I'm still not the best at it, but I feel like I've come a long way. I feel like I've done a lot better. And to the people who have stuck with me or come along for this journey with me, and just all the adventure, I really appreciate you. You guys are the best, hands down. And no matter what, I think I'll keep doing it off and on. I never know how long I'll keep doing this, but I have learned to enjoy it. Trying to share things that I find either interesting, informative, or strange, or entertaining, or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I really, really appreciate any and all support. And, so this time around, yeah, it's a compilation video. Um, I really hope you enjoy the content. And this one is about negative narratives and self-image, which I think that is something that we can all be familiar with. Um, that we've either placed them on ourselves or seen it placed on others. Negative narratives, things like that, and also having a good positive self-image or a bad self-image, and how that can affect the way a person conducts themselves, lives their lives, so on and so forth. And so I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer. And yeah, there's not much else I could think of to say right now, because I'm just, kind of just talking to you guys. Um, you know, I feel like I've gotten a lot better in front of the camera over the years, but it's not natural to me. Looking into this lens is not natural to me, so on and so forth. Maybe something that I know, even if it was like I was famous and I looked into a camera, probably still something I still never would be used to. It's not that kind of person, you know what I mean? Like my core. So, but without further ado, I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you like, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all the rest of talk videos that I have. And hopefully this could spark something. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Negative narratives and self-image. All right.
Yeah, what's up? I'm catching that feeling with you again. Just using this technology for what it's good for, and that's reaching you out there. And hopefully, I can, add a little substance to the situation as usual. And right now, I'm about to get out here active. You can see Big Blue in the background. Somebody told me, one of my close friends told me. That Big Blue ended up in a reality TV show a while back, ended up in Storage Wars or something like that with Adam and Ton. I met those individuals actually. They were real cool cats. But yeah, we got a chance to see the behind the scenes of how the show was shot and all that kind of stuff. It was an interesting day, and it happened right here in the Inland Empire, believe it or not. But anyway, I want to get down to it. Big shouts to all the people motivating out there, up early with the sun, making it happen, and staying up late night to make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's and get everything solid and ready for the next day. Being prepared is always half the battle, and not putting off what you could do today for tomorrow is also another part of winning the battles out here and your challenges for success. And I don't want to say that I'm the grandmaster of anything. I just love to be able to reach you and share and connect. I feel that it's an advantage that we have these days. And these days, also, I'm very busy, and I don't really have a lot of time to connect with people the way that I used to. So it's nice to reach out. I hope that people that I love, as well as people that are just getting to know me, do take a minute or two to take in my videos and indulge in the substance with me. And so right now, substance is actually a fact of the matter, and the substance is about your self-image, right? And the way the public can kind of, in the public, how they see you and how they can see you. So it's like perception too. But let's talk about these narratives again. They come up again, and how they can be healthy or unhealthy. And I meet a lot of people, or have met a lot of people, that have a negative narrative to their life, and that bleeds over into their perception of the world. Also, thinking about how everyone's at the helm of their own ship. You know, you're at the driver's seat, so everyone's vision is for them to win. So when it's positive, it's awesome, because then everybody wins. Everybody comes along with that ride. There's nobody that's left out of having an opportunity to do better, or be encouraged to do better, or led by an example, so on and so forth. However, on the flip side, when it's negative, you're gonna find a lot of people kicking you when you're down, throwing you under the bus, making up stories about you, so on and so forth. Expect these things to happen, because not everybody you meet will be ready. I wouldn't say that they're not decent. I would just say that whatever they've experienced at this moment in time has caused them to be, not their 100%, their best self. And that's what this is all about every day. More than the money, more than the success, it's about doing life right, and living your best life and being your best self. And that's what I'm all about. So every day I'm trying to get these things better and better. Um, and it's hard to do that when you have people that are constantly trying to paint a picture of you that ruins your reputation. So they'll do this with circles of friends, they'll do this in circles of business, just anywhere they can get their grubby little negative hands into, or fingers into, is where they'll attack it. And so, in other words, their self-image of themselves is them winning and you losing. And you don't want to cultivate those types of relationships no matter what you do. Music, uh, trying to learn something new, trying to make a change in your life, a positive change. All those things have to be supported by constructive people and positive people. And so you could see how, if you introduce yourself to positive people, how that helps you grow. And you see how when you introduce yourself to negative people, how it hurts your growth. It stunts your growth, stunts you mentally, spiritually, and monetarily in success. Everything you want to see achieve has to be supported by good things. I know there's a lot of people trying to act like they're negative and things, but if they're successful, believe me, they're more positive than they are negative. And the narrative that you pick up on camera is for entertainment purposes, and really probably goes into more factual matters that aren't touched on and really widely understood by the public. So that's just something I would like to bring up as a side note, as a guide to use when you're taking in information from the media and different outlets, thinking that that's reality. It actually isn't. The person, if they're successful, are not as dumb as they come off, and they also are more positive than you would expect. And I would find it hard to believe that anybody that amasses any success will be going out throwing other people under the bus at any given time, knowing that that could be them in that position as well, being thrown under the bus, and what it does for what they're trying to achieve. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little while, those narratives and things like that, and hope I can, help somebody stay motivated. You know what I'm saying? Stay motivated, stay focused and sharp, keep learning, keep being into what you like to do. Don't worry about it. If you got negative people, you know what to do. Slide them on to the left and keep on stepping. So I just wanted to touch you off with some positivity. I'm out, about to go do the junk removal thing, and then I'll be back at the pad later doing some video uploads and editing, and I'll be writing some more music. Got some more music coming. Please stay tuned. I appreciate anybody who's been coming along with me already on the journey. I see you, and I definitely want to connect with you more. Please reach out. All right, everybody. Till next time. Peace.
Oh wow, are we back already? All right. Well, you know what? I hope you enjoyed that. I know that I did when I was doing it, or I liked the result of how that came out. It was one of my first things. As you can see, I had the smooth, slick back kingly fro going on, a little bit different from the twist that I have now, which is also something new for me, as I was someone who was always streamlined and ready to go with no hair. So don't be surprised in the future if you see me with no hair. But nevertheless, for the time being, I'll enjoy this for a little while longer. Um, this next video is going to be about negative personalities and how to deal with them. And I know that we've all dealt with some negative personalities. So with that being said, let's get into it.
What's up? It's your man right here, you know what I'm saying? A.D.S. The Shadow King A.D.S. hitting you up with another good message. You know what I'm saying? I just want to touch bases with everybody as I'm getting done doing the good work for the day, helping people in the community, as I'm out here trying to do my part and add some substance to the conversation, to these video clips, and put my time in and actually try and make some effort for not, for everybody. Not saying that I'm the godsend or the be all end all. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I like to do my part and contribute. At least I'm trying to do something constructive and positive. And right now, what I want to touch on is the energy that you could feel sometimes in the air with people that you've even known for a long time, either that you've known for a long time, or people that you just met and they haven't been in your life that long. But you'll notice sometimes a pullback, especially when you're working with each other on a project or something, and you'll get this silence. And that silence, to me, says that there's some kind of preconceived notion most of the time. And those things often are false, and they're fabricated by the person that's coming up with the issue. And it's a lack of communication. I don't want you to feel upset or offset by anything like that in your path, because it has nothing to do with what you came to do. A lot of times you'll have people who hold the keys to situations, something like that, and they'll try to hold that over your head. And I got news for you. That just means that you're more powerful than they would like to admit, than some people would like to admit. So you should know that. Don't get upset. Don't waste your 100%. It's like watching a playoff game or something, and you see the player get into it with the referee or something to that nature. Now, they would have had 100% to finish that game, but instead they gave the referee 15%. Now you working on 85%. What you gonna do? We needed 100%, you giving 85 now. And that's from feeding in to the negative quotient that these other individuals probably were feeding into just prior to dealing with you. All right, so the best thing you could do in that scenario is hope people come around to a healthier state of being and consciousness, and get rid of all the sicknesses and things that hold them back. So with that, you can never really make up your own never make up your own narrative like that. See, because then you're doing the same thing. You're going around in circles. You're chasing your own tail, and it's going to drive you insane. Not only that, just like I shared in the previous video, that you're going to burn all your bridges for no reason. And the person's arrogance may not think that's a big deal, and hopefully they'll be okay. But most of the time it ends in shambles and a lot of spinning wheels in mud, so to speak, figuratively speaking, where they'll use a lot of energy and not go anywhere, or overstep their bounds somewhere else, and they'll burn that rope too, and that bridge as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. Keep your energy good. If there's anything you're ever worried about, bring it up in the point of rational a conversation, experience conversation. Bring it up in a mature state of being. Don't approach things off balance. Always remember the principles, which I'm going to share in another one. But you put out what you want to give. And if you like dealing with drama and attitudes, then you can give that all day. But if you don't like dealing with drama, attitude, lack of progress, then you shouldn't probably harbor those type of feelings or mentality towards the world or others. Just slows you down. And I just wanted to keep that 100 with you. I wanted to share that message. You see the drama on the floor, you leave it where you found it, and you keep stepping to your goal. Don't worry about if they want to become haters. What you gonna do? When you get your mind made up, you get your mind made up, right? So what you gonna do? Other than that, if you never had bad feelings towards someone, there's no need to start having bad feelings. Most of that stuff is governed by fear, and it's pushed by fear and anxiety, and it's the uncertainty of the situation, which most of the time people don't have much to worry about. But the fear and not facing it will eat at you, and then it will grow and fester and become something when it really was nothing to worry about in the first place. Or another point to add to that, people like to suck other people into their drama. In other words, they'll talk to you about a situation, about someone else, and these are things to avoid, like by all costs. If you can, by any means, try as much as you can to avoid it. I've been in these situations myself, and I try as much as possible to avoid it, because it's useless to you, really. You know what I'm saying? It's really that individual's issue. Whatever they need to work out, they need to do that on their own, with their own devices, with that individual. And so they try to pull you in on an opinion, while they're the initial person with the disagreement, and then you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to turn around and say that you were the one that came up with all the nonsense. It's kind of narcissistic and also cowardly, which they will have an ego, and they felt like that ego wasn't fed, and then they turn around and dish off their dirt onto you. See? So that's why you stay away from them. They're called psychic vampires. Those are people that rob you of your strength. That's one of the things that they'll use as a trait, is manipulation, and to use your good energy that they asked you for, and then try to turn it around and act like you're the one with the bad energy so they can look better. See that? That's narcissism. That's sociopathic narcissism, because it was done to them too. It's a practice of foulness that was pushed off onto them, and now they're trying to push it off onto you. Notice the same technique is done as a pure manipulation when you deal with certain mass media conduits, certain individuals that would like to pump a certain narrative into the mainstream to have your opinion form in a certain way or another to make themselves look better. Start the problem, be the solution to the problem, double dealing on both sides of the fence, called the Joker, right? They said these guys, and the ancient description calls them the jokers, right? The tricksters. One side they look this way, other side they look the other way, but it's the side of the same coin. It's manipulating you to have to gain your trust when they're the ones that did you in the first place, and they did you in out of fear that you would correct the course, and you would be the one to correct the course instead of them. And you can also see that, you know what, I'll show you another one. If you never noticed this truck going by, but if you never noticed this, there was a push for artist rights in the music industry some years ago, in the late 90s into the early 2000s. Some of you were too young, you weren't even born yet, but I was in the game and I was making things happen. Now, what these guys did, they had Lars, the drummer from Metallica, they had all these artists and people speaking up. These were the times of Napster and what was that other thing called? There was a Kazaa and all that stuff, and you could iMesh, and you could download songs and music and everything. And so it was bootlegging supreme, right? And these labels, what they said was, these artists are getting robbed and we're getting robbed of valuable money. While there's a shred of truth to it, the reality was the digital age is when they created the DART Act 2 for digital recording, okay? Now, they didn't have control over that technology. The internet was just still evolving, and it still is. I'm telling you, there's more stuff changing. It's gonna come with the internet. They're gonna break it into tiers. They're gonna streamline it. But anyway, it's because the sloppy is throwing up on you right now. But anyway, these guys started a big stink about how these people were stealing and all this stuff, and they weren't making any money. Now, the only reason they said that is because they didn't have control of the situation. So what did they do? They started an argument. Now, when they got us involved and all the artists signing that paperwork and everything, say, yeah, push for our rights and all this stuff, guess who was left out in the cold? In the end, you see what they did, right? They made deals with all the major corporations and streaming platforms and stuff, shut everybody else out that had their back. And now what are they doing? Taking more of a share from everybody's pocket, doing all those things. Now, if you're an independent artist, you know what streams are worth. Trash. So there you go. It's another example of the backhanded representation of being on your side. You know what I'm saying? And you could see how shady and treacherous that energy can become. So it's best not to entertain that energy. And when it comes your way, leave it be. Let it go on, and you keep doing your thing. Though that's what you came to do. There is, like I said, there's always a shred of truth to everything. But the advantage for you is that you could reach anybody you want to these days. It's a beautiful world and a beautiful place with a bunch of beautiful people in it. And we just got to be out here to do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be the best artist of all times. I don't need to do all that. But what I do need is to connect with you and know that I'm making some kind of contribution or a difference. And that makes me happy. That makes me feel good. I've had people tell us that our music, with the Almighty Grind, the band I sing for, I've had people tell us that our music helped them get through war times while they were in Afghanistan. I've had people tell me that they were down and out, but the song pulled them out of a slump otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I've had people tell me that there were inspirational pieces of music that we got to share with people that helped them through times. And to me, that is the prize. No Oscar or Grammy or anything could ever do that for you. No one will ever come up to you and say, you helped me when I was down, you saved my life, you helped me. I'm pursuing my dream now. I'm on my course now. I don't deal with haters no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to, because we know what we're all soldiers of a higher cause. So I am. And I'm here just to touch down with you, so you can see your boy, see your man out here representing every day, doing positive things. I just got done helping a wonderful person of the community, and now I'm getting at you working overtime. Why? Why would I do that? I'm not getting paid to do this part. Man, you must be out your mind. But why would I do that? Because it matters. You know what I'm saying? It really matters. So, with that being said, man, I'm just glad to share the time with you. You know what I'm saying? It's your man, again, Ayaya the Shadow, Shadow Presence, you know what I'm saying? Paradise on Earth in the Shadows, that's the truth. King A.D.S. or A.D.S. all the same. Get with me. King A.D.S. music, King A.D.S. joints. Let's rock. All right, peace.
Oh, wow, that was a mouthful. Yeah, a lot being said in that video. Just so you know that your boy is always on it, man. It makes me feel good when I go back and I can hear the messages, or at least the effort that I was putting in to try to reach people. It's always been about a positive connection because I feel like there's enough negativity out there. So, yeah, I just wanted to do my part. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be negative. It's easy to, do all those types of things like that on the bad side of things. But anyway, this next one is about when you just feel like something's just a little bit off, maybe in the circle that you're in or the area that you're in. And I'll ask you, do you believe even objects can hold evil energy, or that, there's evil energy around that can affect people, things like that? And, even that evil energy can have a supernatural type of air to it, where things like possession can take place, so on and so forth. Well, this episode coming up is not quite like that, but it does constitute in the same arena, where we deal with recognizing evil energy when it's around and how to deal with it, or at least recognize it. And then also something that comes along with that evil energy, the influence, which we call whispers. The whispers. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? I just wanted to get back with you and build with you a little bit. Just want to do my part as usual. Try to add a little substance. So much going on. I just been going through the most. These times are trying everywhere. It seems. We got inflation going down. We got so much tension between nations and things like that, and politics. Uh, Actually, even on the most practical end, my work van has been in the shop now for almost 2 months, and that's like a first. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And also, but on another note, whenever things like that happen, I've learned over time not to get bummed out, to have those ice water veins as I've expressed, and to just push on and persevere. So I always try to find something else to get into or to do to be productive, make sure I don't miss a beat as much as possible, keep it on that positive note. So with that being said, though, still so much going on and still trying to get to it. I just wanted to be able to get my chance to communicate with you. You know what I'm saying? As I love to do, as you know so much, because I love you. And yes, so much though. I've been working on a lot of music. Been doing stuff. Just finished mixing a new song with my boy Random from Area 51. It's a fire joint. Just been doing a new project with my man G La the Chef. It's gonna be a surprise. It's called Cosmic Rock Box, and it's coming soon. And it's gonna be some other stuff. It's not a hip hop album. It's a different type of album, more like an alternative hip hop album. It does have hip hop elements in it, but it's also got like a lot of electronic elements or rock elements in it and things like that. So it's gonna be very interesting and free, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, what else can I touch on? Just a lot going on right now. And let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about negative, dark, or evil energy, air quotes, and how that pertains, how you recognize it and everything like that. So I remember I took some notes. Let me take a look. Okay, so evil energy, dark energy, demons, the whispers, as they call them, and circles of friends and people that you may come in contact with or know, stuff like that. So dark energy is recognized in a number of ways. Person's aura, their attitude, the way they carry themselves. Also, there's an attitude that goes along with it, and usually the attitude is very dismissive, very closed. These are the descriptions I picked up from learning everything when I was studying. And you could find more of these characteristics in books that have the dark studies and things like that. I know it's spooky. A lot of people don't like to get into that, neither did I. But in order to know how my enemy moves, then I had to, get those arts and studies as well in. But I would say that it's very dismissive energy. It's very one-sided. It only wants to deal with the material aspects of things that are easy come, easy go in a sense. So when you start talking about waking up and being, yourself or doing things out of the ordinary, is very much against you and very dismissive. Doesn't really like to hear what you have to say. Very much into its own type of outcomes for things. And also, those things can be in friends, they could be in family, complete strangers, but a lot of times it's in people's families too. And just to let you know, some of the other information I thought that was interesting that I found says that a lot of the times the people who are attacked the most are actually the most powerful. And so that's why this energy seeks people out that have that kind of inner ability and strength to recognize themselves. When you begin to start to manifest in your physical, spiritual, mental, and electric form, your electric presence, then you start to become more and more free. You can see things that you can't unsee anymore because now a state of scientific order and practical order, and then disruption by emotion and things like that. So you'll also notice that with negative energy or evil energy or dark energy often goes off of desire or emotion. So always wants you to feed into your anger, your sadness, your low point, and to feel less and to feel that shame to the point where you feel less than anyone else or anything else, and then you might even commit to some acts that you normally wouldn't do. And that's one of the things about the teaching, is learning about how you always have a choice, and it's always about the moments, always about moments in life. And you could even go in deep thought about something, but once you commit to it, now you've committed the sin, which, let's talk about that word sin, which I know people kind of attach that to, like, oh, you're gonna burn and all that kind of stuff, but it's more like error is what I found in all the studies, is it technically means error. So errors can be what? Corrected. You can, if you have an eraser and it can be erased, you can do that too with enough time and concentration. But it often comes down to you figuring out the error in your ways and then correcting that, trying to do it better each day, as I often bring up and try to share that. And just like I'm trying to share everything that I come across now, I just believe in the times that we're in, we all, can share or use a little bit of substance. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of that in my music and stuff, and so I really look forward to it. If y'all, check me out, check out your people's doing this thing. And also, let's talk about demons. From like, the negative energy recognition to demons. Now we know that the negative energy recognition is very dismissive. It's very, what do you call it, exclusive, not inclusive, exclusive. It pushes things out and doesn't let things in. It's much like the negative polarity with magnetism. It pushes things out, versus attract them in. Positive energy attracts things, builds a mass of substance until it has its own gravitational force, because this is the focal point of energy.
in a being and their existence, their reason for being here, and that becomes something in the world in physical, tangible form, which is positive, because you can touch it, taste it, smell it. That's when it takes on a positive form. The negativity's positive form is one that is in the process of breaking down the substance back into its pieces, maybe even different pieces that by the time it's done with it, because it'll have its nature to reconstruct and reform things into a new positive form, inevitably. And that's the trick on negativity. It doesn't know. It only has two choices. One is to eat itself whole, because it'll devour everything in its path to break it down by its nature until there's nothing left to devour but itself, and it'll dissipate. Or it will form with new elements in order to make itself anew, which is not like it was before, which makes it a new thing in positive, tangible presence. See what I'm saying there? So no matter what, things tend to follow natural, universal order, no matter what we do. So let's talk about now, move on to like what you would call like whispers and things like that, or demons. I'm sorry, demons. And the demon side of things, psychologically would be either things internalized or externally exposed to, that we would let form and take, or have presence and take form, actually is a better way to say it, until it becomes prominent in our life, and it can be observed either from the outside, or you can kind of like witness the hell this person is going through, which, let's talk about the word hell, which you can associate it with flame and prison like situation, or you can look at it as separation. If in any form, when you hear that word, sometimes I'd like you to try to hear it a little bit differently, as a separation or a groove, in that sense, that causes a separation. So the hell actually is a person that's separated from their inner self, or humanity, or their humane side, their higher form, mentally and spiritually and health wise as well. And so you can see how, when a person's not in touch with those qualities, when they're not learning, they're not growing, they're not nourishing, they're not taking enough time for themselves, they're not trying to heal, or even lend a branch here and there to heal others. Not saying to give their life, but they give the 5 minutes at least, right? That you could see that you fall into that separation, and that's when they become demons, because you've been neglecting all the things that set you free. Instead, you'll fall into a certain sort of prison, which is like a cycle of doing the same things that are unhealthy for you every day of your life, and believing that it should be doing you better, and then expecting results, which is the definition of insanity, which means that you've driven yourself insane from a cycle of actions that's been dictated to you from a system which uses imagery and sound and things like that to influence you, which we get into that a little bit, which is a mind control device in a sense. But anyway, let's just talk about how these demons are, and that's basically what they are, whichever way you want to slice it. If you want to look at it from a more esoteric sense, it's more like they're the entities that you can't see, that exist in the negative quotient, that believe in the self-serving principle in their existence. So whenever they leave this place, they go back into a negative quotient pool, and what they're all about is self-serving energy. So when they re-emerge again, they come down here and literally wreak havoc again and again and again. If you get into like the reincarnation stuff and stuff like that. Nevertheless, it's always a good rule of measure to say don't give power to things that you can't see. But then you have to give respect to them at the same time, because everything that you can't see is the most powerful, and it's what makes everything work. So let's just say, coming down to these demons' frequency, these negative frequency opens you up to what they call whispers. Moving on to that now. And the whispers is an introduction of those thoughts that you shouldn't react to, that's in your brain. These thoughts, these whispers, seek to occupy space in your consciousness. And so once they do, they seem to always say the same thing. And that's the part where I have to respect the idea of demons, because because of the fact that what I've found when I speak to people about this kind of understanding, if I see people in a low point, I kind of know what these voices have said, and I've experienced them myself. And they often say things like, "You're not good enough." It's a comparison to an imagery that maybe your life doesn't accommodate, but nevertheless, it becomes a standard for you to judge yourself against, and it makes you feel smaller and lower and more hollow. And so you're not really being yourself. You're letting go of the wheel, and respect is something that doesn't respect you, which is destructiveness. And so you start to slip into a spiral, and before you know it, you do start committing to those thoughts with your actions. The body follows the mind always, and so your health as well. So everything that could benefit you starts to work against you, even though it is your right to be free, and it is your gift to live and experience this place and wonder, and to be drawn into it so you can learn and then graduate to your highest level, to your best self. So you can kind of see how strange, though, that I took away from these conversations with different people that don't know each other, that these voices did whisper some of the same things. And those whispers are with doubt and negativity, saying that you can't do it, that you don't have the time, you're too old, or you don't have the strength. Whatever it is, it just separates you, it hells you again from what you should actually be doing. And so it detours you from becoming what you can be and what you should be. And it's easier said than done. It's an everyday practice. It's what you call actual religion, which if you look up the word religion, unless they changed it, but I know that it means daily practice or ritual. So whatever your daily ritual is, look at those actions closely and see what's working for you, see what isn't working for you, and what you'd like to add to those daily practices so that you can break yourself away from these whispers, these demons, and this negative or evil dark energy. And so just that's really what I wanted to touch on. And you can come, now that I've said these things, you can kind of, and I'm not the first one to say it either, by the way. I don't act like I came up with this stuff. I didn't come up with this. I study and I like to learn a lot, so I always keep that in mind. But nevertheless, that's generally what I wanted to share with you, and you can hear it in your circles of friends and things like that when you hear them doubting things that are possible, and then the next thing you know, the world of tomorrow is using that concept that this person was just laughed out of the room with. You start to hear people's doubt in themselves and how they knock other people that are doing well, that are healthy, that are good looking, that are making achievements, getting promoted, all these different things. You start to hear how people belittle themselves really while they belittle others. So you can tell that something else is taking more hold of their being, respectively. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you want to call that a possession of a demon, it could be an inner demon, it could be psychological, subconscious, but whatever way, it would be of the negative path. And so, that's really what I wanted to share. And dismissive too. It never has time to hear what you have to say. It never has time for anything. And always remember that anything other than self-fulfilling desire, mainly of the flesh, items of like objects, items, short thrills, things like that. So those are the characteristics. I just wanted to share a little bit more about that. And I love all of y'all. Please stay tuned. I got more music on the way. It's your peoples, King A.D.S, Ayaya the Shadow, and more to come. All right, y'all. Peace.
Hey, round of applause to everybody for sticking around to the end. If you made it through all of that dialogue and talking, and that I can entertain you, then I did something good too. And I'm really thankful that you're here with me. I hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure that you check out all the material that's on my channel and featured channels, and check out people that are featured on my channel on certain projects, so on and so forth. Check out all my talk videos, and I'm going to be doing a few more of these compilation videos because, like I said, over time, surprisingly, even myself, even though I'm not the most popular guy with the most subscribers or followers or anything, I have amassed quite a few videos. With that being said, stay tuned. I really enjoy doing this for you. I really appreciate you, and I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.